So we just cut up a cantaloupe that we grew. Check this cantaloupe out. That is a beautiful ripe cantaloupe that this gal grew. The first one that we cut open had a ton of green on it. This one, what did you do with this?
I picked it and I thought it was still a little green because it was still hard, so I put it in a paper bag, sealed up the paper bag, and left it in there for a few days. I put it in the fridge yesterday, day before.
And now we cut it open expecting to see quite a bit of green, but oh my goodness, we're so happy. Hey folks, so before we start working on our portable garage that we purchased from Harbor Freight, we want to start working on the outdoor kitchen. Now, we just put our second coat of paint on the floor in here, and we have addressed, for the most part, we have addressed the fly issue. There are a few other things that we've got to do to kind of button up the building, but we're going to go ahead and start moving some stuff into here. Primarily, we're going to be moving our ball jars in here. So the reason we want to put all of our ball jars in the outdoor kitchen is because, well, that's where we're going to be doing all of our canning, and it only makes sense to have all of the ball jars and all of our canning equipment in there. So right now, all of our ball jars are in this outdoor garage here, and so I've got to get in there, make sure there's no mice in them, and then start moving them. And I got my towel here. I'm going to wipe the bins down, and we'll see what they look like. Wow, so I don't know if you can see these or not, but boy, there are a lot of those flies that are in here. And it is warming up right now, so they are trying to get out. Holy smokes. So I've got this door open up. Hopefully they find their way out. So we'll see. But all of the ball jars are right there. So I'm gonna dig through this and get access to them and start looking to see what they look like. Well, as I've been going through this, it has become quite apparent that the critters of Maine have kind of taken over the crates we have. Now, we kind of figured that was going to happen. I had no idea it was going to happen as bad as it has. So what we've decided to do is we've got the bins with jars, and those are fine. None of the critters got into them. But as far as all of the crates and these boxes here, so I think what we're going to do is just leave those outside. As we need them, we can come out and grab some, and then we'll clean them and so forth. But it just doesn't make sense for us to spend the day, get all of these jars. There's probably, I don't know, 300-400 of them that we have in crates. It just doesn't make sense to get them all washed right now, just to store them for, you know, later use. So we're gonna go ahead and finish getting these bins out of here, cleaning the bins up, and then getting those bins in the outdoor kitchen. So for now, this is gonna work. We've got more stuff that has to come in here, but these bins right now will get us through the start of the season. Like I said, if we need more, we'll just go grab more. Hey folks, we are back out here by the shop and the shed, and today we are putting together our 10 by 17 portable garage that we picked up from Harbor Freight. Now, we already have one of them, and it has really done a great job for us. Ideally, we obviously would like to have something more permanent, but these things do work well, and as long as they are managed and cared for during the winter time, they will certainly hold up. Now, we have the second one that I have already put the frame together on, and really the reason I put the frame together so quickly was because it just all fits together. It's pretty self-explanatory, and there's really not much to it. Now, one of the things that I am going to do right off the bat is we are going to be adding screws to all of these joints here. Now, we did this to the current outdoor canopy that we have, and other than getting 6 inches of wet snow and it having bust the one side, it did very well during the winter time and has served its purpose for us. We've got quite a few joints here that we've got to screw together, so I'm gonna get this equipment out from underneath. I put the equipment there just to kind of see what the garage would look like, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all that stuff out of there. I'm gonna get my ladder and my self-tapping metal screws with my drill, and we're gonna start tightening this thing up. Well, as it turns out, I have to put this project on hold because I am missing nuts. Yes, you heard that right. I am missing nuts. So the kit did not come with the nuts, and so I've got to go to the store tomorrow morning and get the right nuts. So we're going to put that on hold for a day. So what we're going to do is turn our attention to this canopy here. What we're going to do is move this garage. I started working on the gravel pad for it. We're actually going to move this over about 10 feet. So what I'm doing right now is just putting together the gravel pad here. So yeah, this here, this garage here, we're going to be reinforcing. We're going to be putting a tarp over it, fixing all the holes that it sustained during the winter, and then yeah, so let's get to it. All right, so the gravel pad is about as good as I can get it right now. It is still a little low in that area, but what I'd like to do is get this garage emptied and get it moved, and then I can kind of position it where I want it. And if I have to bring in more gravel, then I can do that. I think that's the easiest way for me to do this, given the fact that I have absolutely no grading skills. So we're gonna do it that way. So now that we've got everything out, and I have my helper here, the most awesome woman in the world to me, we are going to, well, we're in the process of moving the garage over to the new pad. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, removed it. Now, I don't know. We gotta consult each other and figure out what's next.
Dinner.
But yeah, dinner. And good morning, folks. It is the next day, and we are out here in the garage. We've got it so far kind of laid out the way that we want it. We're going to be putting a lot of storage bins here. Try to get them out of the shop so that I can actually start using the shop, because right now it is an absolute disaster in there. So we've got to get things cleaned up. The other thing we want to do is we're going to move some equipment out here as well. So I've got to start working on that and make sure that we've got enough space here. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Oh, what'd you find there, Whitco? Huh? All kinds of interesting stuff out here, huh? Yeah. Okay, so I've started moving stuff out here, and it's really amazing how many times I've changed my mind on how I want to set this up. There's just so much crap. I don't know where all this crap came from. It's like it just grows from the woodworks. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to wait on moving any more stuff in here right now. I've got Jen out here to give me a quick hand. I've only got her for about 10 minutes before she's got, you know, all of her stuff that she's working on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a heavy duty tarp and we're going to put a tarp over this, and then we're going to strap it down to buckets filled with gravel on both sides. The reason we're doing this is this vinyl, it did well this past winter, but it does have some damage to it. And so I'm hoping with this 12 by 16 heavy duty tarp that we'll at least get another winter out of it. So I think it's gonna work okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this thing up and see what happens. Okay, after quite a bit of deliberation and some lunch, we finally figured out how to do it. And yeah, so let's take a look. So we basically ended up using two 12 by 16 tarps, and we are strapping them to buckets that currently have big rocks in them, but I'm gonna go around and fill it up with some screen gravel here. Same thing on this side, and then we did overlap it about 18 inches or so here, so that with the flap open facing the east, since the majority of our wind and snow and so forth comes from the west. So in the back, all I really did was just kind of tie it together. No real rhyme or reason, just to make sure it doesn't flap around. And then I also did the same in the front. So I think we're going to try this. We're going to see how it works. I think it'll work. I don't know. Looks good. And on the inside, I was actually really surprised at how dark it got in here. And the biggest reason we were doing this is simply to, you know, if you can take a look here, there is a lot of tension there. A full year in Maine really kicked its butt. And so we didn't want to put this through another winter, especially with stuff in here. I just didn't think it was going to make it. But I think with the tarp, the heavy duty tarps that we have, and they are heavy duty, the way that we tied them, I may have to modify it depending on how the weather goes and how the tarps, you know, act in the weather. I'll have to just monitor it and make any changes that I need. But I think overall it came out great. I'm happy with it. Now that I have that done, now let's get back to work. Okay, well that wraps this up. I think for the most part we are done. I've got everything that I wanted to move from the shop into the garage. I think now what I'm going to do is we're going to wrap this up, and so tomorrow we've got to start finishing the other garage that we have. I have the right nuts now, so we've got the frame up for that one. And so what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to go gung-ho and put that puppy together. All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in to this video. Hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video.